There to show us the route that you took from the kitchen.
From the kitchen to the den.
So you're indicating on the right side of the photograph would be the kitchen area, and on the left side of the photograph would be the den area where you said that Prince and the children were playing, correct?
Yes.
So you went from the kitchen area to the den area to get Prince, correct?
Yes.
And what did you say to Prince when you went into the den area?
I said, hurry. Dr. Murray needs you. There may be something wrong with your father.
And what did Prince do?
Prince and I then ran back into the kitchen. I went back to work, and he approached Dr. Murray.
I'm sorry, the last part again?
He approached Dr. Murray.
Who approached Dr. Murray?
Prince.
Showing you again people's number 34. Does this photograph allow you to show us where Dr. Murray was situated when he shouted to you to get Prince, get security?
Yes, right in there. The stairs right there.
May the record reflect the witnesses indicating the banister area of the stairway. Your Honor, would the court turn the lights down, please?
I would ask, please. Ms. Fox? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ms. Chase, would you show us again with the pointer, please?
Right there.
May the record reflect the witnesses indicating the midpoint of the stairs parallel or horizontal with the window area. And I can count the banisters.
Well, we can just put a little mark on it, whatever is easier.
It's the 7th banister down.
Thank you.
Your Honor, may I approach?
Sure. May we?
Yes, please.
May we? Ms. Fox?
Ms. Chase, I'm handing you the exhibit previously marked as People's 34, and I'm handing you a pen. If you would please place the letters CM in an area where you indicate that Dr. Murray was standing when he came down the stairs and shouted at you to get Prince, get security, get help.
That's a misstatement of her testimony, Your Honor. It was get help, get security, get Prince.
So sure there's a difference.
Well, it's a different order.
Overruled.
Your Honor, may the record reflect that Ms. Chase has placed CM on People's 34.
Thank you.
Ms. Chase, please direct your attention again to People's 34. Do you see the initial CM? Are those the initials that you placed reflecting the location where Conrad Murray came down the stairs and shouted at you to get help?
Yes.
And that location accurately reflects where he was standing, correct?
Yes.
And at that point, after he yelled for you to get help, you went and got Prince in the den area, and Prince and you returned to the kitchen, correct?
Yes.
Did you see Prince go up those stairs to the 2nd floor area?
No, I did not.
When you returned back to the kitchen, could you still see Dr. Murray in the stairway area, or was he gone?
I went back to work.
So were you able to see whether Dr. Murray was still in that area when you returned to the kitchen, or did you not notice at all?
I did not notice.
Ms. Chase, when the defendant came and he asked for you to get help, get security, get Prince, did he ever direct you or request that you call 911?
No.
So you made a decision to get Prince, correct?
Yes.
And why is it that you made that decision of the requests that the defendant made of you?
The decision I made was because Prince was in my eyesight. And at that moment, Dr. Murray was very frantic and very disturbed the first thing that I thought of was to immediately get some help, and that's the fastest thing that I could do.
And in fact, he had shouted at you to get Prince, correct?
Yes.
And did you ever go up the stairs, or did you remain in the kitchen?
I remained.
In the residence, are there security personnel inside the residence, or are they situated outside the residence?
They're situated outside.
Which is closer to you in the kitchen, the area where Prince was located in the den area, or the location where the security guards remain?
Where Prince was.
After Dr. Murray shouted at you, what was the next thing that happened? You said you returned to work. What was the next thing that happened?
After I returned to work, I started working, and then I started seeing staff members, housekeepers, crying.
And where were the housekeepers when you saw them crying?
They were close in between the foyer and the kitchen area.
Showing you people's number 8. Ms. Chase, does the photograph, People's Exhibit number 8, allow you to indicate the area in the foyer area where you saw the housekeepers crying?
Yes.
Is it in this foyer area between these two areas?
Yes.
Your Honor?
Please.
It's hard to see the photograph with the lights on. Thank you.
Well,
And Ms. Chase, in this photograph, the kitchen area is back here by the windows, correct? The doorway through the kitchen area is back here by these windows. Is that accurate?
Yes. Yes, that is.
Do you see where my pointer is pointing
yes,
there?
I do. Mm-hmm.
And that would be the area that you walked through to go to the den area to get Prince, correct?
Yes.
Now, you said that you saw the housekeepers, they were crying, and they were in this foyer area, correct?
Yes.
And from this vantage point, we're looking from the front door area to the back of the residence, correct?
Yes.
And what, if anything, did you do when you saw the housekeepers crying in the foyer area?
I approached them. I asked them why they were crying. They said there may be something wrong with Mr. Jackson. We think Mr. Jackson may be ill. I had seen the children in that area. I left my area, came into the foyer right around in the kitchen area. I saw the children there and the housekeepers. The children were crying and screaming. And the next thing we did, we started hugging, and we came together and we held hands and we started praying. Neither one of us knew what was going on at the time, but the energy in the house did not feel good. It was not the energy that I have always felt in this home that I've worked for in the time that I was with Mr. Jackson and his children. Not at all.
all right. Your next question, please.
When you say you came out of your workstation area, you came from the kitchen area into the foyer area, so it would be the area visible in People's Number 8, correct?
Yes.
And the housekeepers were there, and the children at some point joined you and the housekeeper. Is that correct?
Yes.
And you said that the children were crying and screaming?
Yes.
And did all of you, including the children, join hands and pray?
Yes, in a circle, yes.
While you were in the foyer area, Ms. Chase, did the paramedics arrive?
While I was in the foyer, I had seen...
Did the paramedics arrive while you were in
Yes.
the foyer? Thank you.
Yes.
What did you see when you were in the foyer area?
I saw paramedics running up the stairs and security skipping stairs, running up the stairs.
Were the children still with you?
Yes.
What did you see next?
At that point, we were still huddled together, and we were still unknowing of what was going on.
Ms. Brazeau, do you need the lights off?
No, you can turn them on. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. May we please, Ms. Watt?
So, Ms. Chase, you and the housekeeper were trying to comfort the children,
Yes.
and the paramedics and the security personnel went upstairs in a very rapid manner, correct?
Yes.
Did you and the children remain in the foyer area, or did you go to some other area in the residence?
No, I remained in the foyer with the children.
And then what happened next?
Shortly after, I was asked to leave the premises.
And who asked you to leave?
Security.
And that would be, did everyone leave, the housekeeper as well? All of the personnel left?
The housekeepers and myself were asked to leave.
Ms. Chase, was this day, June 25th, 2009, a very difficult day for you emotionally?
Absolutely. It was, my heart is still broken. It was a very devastating day to me.
And after you left the residence, your employment with the Jacksons obviously was over, correct?
Overruled. You may answer yes or no.
Yes, it was.
Shortly after, in the days after Michael Jackson's death, did you meet with Detective Scott Smith of the Los Angeles Police Department to provide a statement about what you had seen and heard that day?
Yes.
Ms. Chase, after Mr. Jackson's death, were you contacted by various media outlets asking you questions about what you knew?
Overruled. You may answer.
Yes, it was.
Were you contacted by people from media sources in the United States as well as internationally?
Yes.
And after you spoke with the detectives and gave them information that you had about what happened inside the residence that you knew of, later in the months of July and August, did you give any interviews to any media sources here in the United States?
Yes, I did.
And what media interviews did you give?
In the United States?
Yes.
There were several. Today Show, Good Morning America, Inside Edition, Larry King.
Ms. Chase, did any of those organizations that you described, did any of them pay you money for your interviews?
No.
Did you also give interviews to foreign media outlets during the time of July, August, September of 2009?
Yes, I did.
Can you describe for me the types of media interviews that you gave? And for example, did you give an interview to a German TV network?
Yes, I did.
Will you describe that for me, please?
That was the focus of that interview was based around cooking, and it was based around the food and the love that was shown that Mr. Jackson provided for his children, how much he loved his children, the types of meals that you made, what does he like to eat. That was the focus of the German interview.
And were you paid for that interview?
Yes, I was.
How much?
$1,000.
Did you also meet with Tyrion, someone in France creating a documentary about Michael Jackson's life?
Yes.
Overruled.
And was that also in the July and August timeframe?
Yes.
What was the focus of that interview?
The focus was the same. The focus is about the love and the food, or the food and the love.
And that would be the food and the love that you experienced or you were aware of Mr. Jackson and his children in your time as a personal chef for his family, correct?
Absolutely, yes.
And were you paid for that interview with the France network?
Yes.
And how much?
The same, 1,000.
Germany, Venezuela, Japan, Russia, and the Netherlands. 5 other interviews. Did you participate in those as well?
Yes, I did.
And what was the subject of those, if there was a general theme for all of them?
The focus was
Overruled.
the focus was always the same. The world loves Mr. Jackson.
The focus was always the same as the answer. Everything thereafter is stricken. Disregard the remainder of the answer. Listen carefully to the question. Answer it only. Next question.
Thank you. Ms. Chase, is it accurate to say that the focus of each of these foreign entities from around the world who contacted you requesting interviews, the focus was you as a personal chef and your experiences and your knowledge of day-to-day living with Mr. Jackson and his children as it relates to cooking?
Yes, it was.
And were you paid $1,000 for each of those interviews?
Yes.
So in total, is it accurate that you've been paid a total of $7,000 for participation in these foreign cooking-focused interviews that you gave back in July and August of 2009?
Yes.
Any other interviews that you participated in related to your activities as a personal chef for Mr. Jackson and his family?
No. Not that I can recall, no.
Ms. Chase, what was your purpose in participating in interviews involving your experiences with Mr. Jackson?
Overruled. You may answer it.
My purpose was, the focus of the interviews were basically interviews and cooking segments. I did a lot of...
That's the answer. Next question.
Thank you.
Did you ever have an intention to try to get rich or make money off of your experiences working as a personal chef for Mr. Jackson and his children?
No.
Thank you. I have nothing further.
Ms. Brazil, thank you. Cross-examination, Mr. Flanagan?
Sure. Ms. Chase, you learned to cook in France?
Yes.
You got the job with Michael Jackson in March of 2009?
Yes.
And you indicated you worked 6 days a week?
Yes.
What day did you have off?
Sunday?
So I take it you weren't there for breakfast on Sunday, May 10th?
No, I was not.
How often did Mr. Jackson come down for breakfast?